So the weather changed and I was looking for sunglasses, and I stopped by an affluent Colonial Heights neighborhood with the TJ Maxx, and the bus doesn't go there. And there's a guy standing there with tattoos all over his face. He's a black guy, and he wanted money for food, so I stopped to talk to him to find out what the story was, and he just got out of prison. I meet a lot of people that have been in prison that have like tattoos on their face, and something, I guess they're bored, they do that. But anyway, I did tell him, I said, you can't really work a lot of jobs, but you could be a dishwasher, or, do something like that. And then I gave him I didn't have much money, but I had a bottle of water, so I gave him a bottle of water, and I told him, I said, you come down to Petersburg. I said, we have a thing called District 19. He said he had his IDs, and he just got out of prison. And I said, see, it's a small town, maybe they can hook you up to have a new start. And then I started to think of preschool and using your words, and we need to listen to what our children are telling us, condemning them, judging them harshly, saying they're bad kids, can set up a bad situation for that child amongst mental health issues. But if the child sees violence in the family, and then it's costing us taxpayers a lot of money to rehabilitate them in prison. $30,000 a year, when they could be out making money and doing something positive if we could hear what they're telling us. Children will tell you what they need, but you have to interpret it, because a lot of times they have a different language. It's a scowl, it's a look on a face, it's how they're behaving, it's crying, it's kicking. With the autism, I think you need to be really cognizant of what they can take and not push them too far. I find the people that I've talked to in the school systems are trying to push these autistic kids beyond what they can do. And it's okay if they can't do it. We can still find something for them to do that they feel comfortable in. And sure, it's good to slowly introduce new stimulus, but not too much that the kid starts getting in trouble, because they shouldn't be getting in trouble. Children, they've got good hearts. I've never met a baby or a toddler without a good heart. I've met abused children that have behavior problems. And so then you're going to hate the parents when the parents were abused and they don't know what to do. So where do we start? And I would say mental health in public schools, start teaching it in the STEM. Everybody's got it. We need to look at it and discuss it. You can't really sweep it under the... One time when I was a kid and I was cleaning the kitchen, and I didn't want to, and I had seen a cartoon of them sweeping it under the rug, so I tried that just for the fun of it. My mom saw. She said, no, we can't do that. She was very cognizant of where that dust or debris went to under her kitchen carpet. But if kids get away with that for too long, they think that's the way to be. So, even though my mom had her problems and difficulties, she was a pretty good mom to us, whereas other moms might be drug addicted, abused, physically abused, mentally, sexually abused, and they have babies. So looking at the whole picture, I think we need to go to public schools and teach mental health and brain health to the families and the children in the community, so we all have a pedestal that we can start from in building a less violent country with less people in prison. And then the other piece of that puzzle is having an art therapist that knows how to read the art or the drawings of the child. Art therapy has nothing to do with drawing well. When I was in art therapy, it was like, if you see the murky purple with some black and red, it could be sexual abuse. They learn to discern the forms and the symbols and the colors to associate that to the person and how that person is feeling, to get the person to talk about it. And, a 5-year-old's not going to know what to say. So we have to help them. And if they're having trouble, the art therapist needs to get that family the help that the family needs, just for the economy of our country. We're always less taxpayer. Well, you have to make an investment in our children and our families to not have so many prisons and wars and violence. There has to be relationships. So you have to understand the children.